Podcast, episode number 2. And the next segment that we are going to get into is a brand new segment here on the Imperative MX Podcast. It is the Local Legend segment. Now,
No.
this here hits home to both me and Heavy D. If you do not know what a local legend is a rider that is from the local North Carolina, Virginia area that is absolutely balls fast and just waxes everybody no matter where they go. So we have two examples for this one. We may do this on a regular. We may do an old one to bring back some old local legends, and then we have a new local legend. So we're going to have two on the local legend segment. One old,
Yes.
one new. So, in this local legend segment, the two riders, the first one is going to be JT Josh Thomas.
Yes.
He is going to be the old one that we talk about. And the younger one will be Dawson Cobb, who races C-Class Double D. We are going to talk about him here in a minute. But those are the two riders that we're going to speak about, and we wanted to let you guys know what a local legend is and what makes them worthy of being talked about as a local legend. So, first, let's talk about Josh Thomas. Josh Thomas is a local North Carolina kid. He is a little shorter in stature. He is very skinny. If you were walking by him at the mall, you would have no idea that no matter what motorcycle he is on, that dirt bike is revved to the moon and it will be jumped as far as you want it to be. And he will win. Just about every single time.
Absolutely. Hands down.
Give me some Josh Thomas local legend moments in your opinion, Heavy D.
Okay, so I heard before I even started racing, I heard of Josh Thomas. I seen him. He come over to my buddy Garrett's track, which was formerly known as the old JGR track, and the dude was unreal. But I seen him. You remember Zoo City? Do you remember Zoo City?
Yep.
The finish line, right there where everybody parked.
Yep, they had that triple, like Camelback triple.
Yes. Dude, he would come over that and crank it so ridiculously hard. I would be like, what is going through this dude's head? Like, how is he this gnarly on a dirt bike? And how do you get that gnarly, that ridiculous sick on that triple?
And what's crazy is nowadays he most of the time, he doesn't ride very much, and if he does, he's kind of just hanging around and just jumping big jumps, right? But man, I remember as a kid, man, when we saw that toy hauler, that Heavy D, you said that you have that old toy hauler,
the tailgater, son,
the tailgater. If I saw that thing, I would have nightmares from when I was 12 years old, having to race this kid at Windy Hill, at Devil's Ridge, at all of these local District 29 races. If that 117 Gator showed up, oh man, we all knew that we were not going to win. We were glad that we showed up, but we're not winning.
Let me tell you how much of a legend I've always thought this guy was. His number plate is still in the toy hauler spot. And every race we went to in that thing, I would fist bump that thing, saluting my guy before I went out on the track.
It's the local legend salute.
Yes. I was like, I had to, because he was gnarly. Like, still is. Like, seeing him at straight rhythm, like, getting in, I'm like, okay, like, that's badass. Like, he's just a local legend. Like, don't even ride a dirt bike on a full regular basis like he used to back in the day, and he's at Red Bull Straight Rhythm on an RM125 about to go shred. Like, that is so sick. That just lets you know, like, you don't have to go be a top guy or try to race your heart out and be like a Tomac. If you're just a local bad dude you can go make it happen. You can be like, all right, I'm bad enough to where I can go race the Red Bull straight rhythm. No big deal.
Absolutely. And for you that do not know, Josh Thomas was invited to come out to Straight Rhythm under Moto Memes, who is a very big, popular social media content for posting very funny memes about professional supercross, motocross, MXGP, that sort of thing. So it is a great follow on Instagram, so make sure to go and check him out at Moto Memes. But, Joshy Washy, who has been around the scene for a very long time. I believe that he is into music now. But he knows the owner of Moto Memes, and Moto Memes was looking to have a rider for their bike to take out the straight rhythm. So, Joshy Washy, I don't know what his actual name is. I just know him as Joshy Washy, dude. Anyways, they all got hooked up and drove from Florida all the way to Straight Rhythm. Josh rode practice, did knack-knacks, jumped all the jumps, times were good, and when it came down to the qualifying, they had a motor issue that they were not able to resolve. So unfortunately, he was not able to make the, quote, night program, or the final, right, qualifying riders. So that was unfortunate not to be able to see him on TV, but that does not matter. Nobody other than a handful of people that know him, right? Nobody knows how big of a local legend he is to the North Carolina motocross scene.
Oh, dude, and he's just one of many. We got so many of them. I could just name them off and not like they'd be never ending.
Yeah, and every week, like we said, on the local legend segment here on the Imperative MX podcast, we will have two riders, one old from what we remember when we were younger, and one that is new. And so we're going to transition from the old Josh Thomas, local legend, now to the new local legend for this first episode, Dawson Cobb. I do not know much about this kid, and Heavy D does. So I will let Heavy D take the reins on Dawson Cobb, since he was the one that suggested that Double D, Mr. Cobb, should be on this first local legend segment.
Oh, dude, it was only fitting, just because it's like, man, the kid, he, don't get me wrong, he's soft spoken, but he is funny as hell.
Right.
But the kid can shred a dirt bike. Now, mind you, this is what, 2022. He just hopped on a 125, a big bike on 125 last year, 2021. Didn't even try to qualify. The previous year, he was on 85s. He did, and got worked at areas and regionals. Like, he didn't make it. Right. Not to say he was like slow, but he just didn't make it. Like, just like anybody else. Just, you know, it when you get to that, it's tough. It is tough.
Yeah, you're telling me. You're telling me, Heavy D.
It is tough.
Yeah.
But, dude, this year, he came out the gate with a damn V10 Triton firing on all cylinders. It's like, my man has like went to every local race, the areas, regionals, and went to Loretta's and cleaned house, son. Talking about he brought 2 number 1 plates back to the Carolinas.
Yep.
NC, and went to Baja, gathered them up 3 more, and brought them back to the hometown of the Carolinas.
Let's go.
And went to the Verb Moto Top Gun Showdown.
Yeah.
Brought more back to the house.
No.
Brought more back to the house. My man, he is getting all the chicken right now.
I was about to say, do we need to call his parents and ask for a bigger room? I think his room's getting full of number 1 plates.
Oh, and he just went to next level this past weekend and cleaned up. And you know what? I'm going out on the limb. He may have some more. I'm Double D is going to the Verb Classic this weekend, and he's getting more.
He's just more. Just keep racking him up. Just keep racking him up.
Look, he's taking the chicken, and he ain't even gonna leave no grease or sides. He ain't
No.
gonna leave nothing to fry it in. He's taking the deep fryer. He's taking the pots, pans, silverware. He gonna take the whole damn stove, son.
The only
I'm
thing that's
telling
left
you.
is that hot sauce that's dripped all the way down to the very bottom of the box.
All he's gonna leave is a little drizzle. Hey, Double D is going to get it, and that is why I had to pick my guy for the local legend because, hey, he don't get me wrong, he trains with Stu some, but last year he stopped training and went back to school. Like my
Yep.
guy just said, you know what, I'm about to go kick it with the homies, try and get me a few little honey buns,
Yep.
and do my thing. And he got to training a little bit, but he put in that work, and my guy was grinding. I mean, I think you saw him at Top Gun Showdown, didn't you?
Yep, and that's what I was gonna say. The first time, I can't say the first time I heard his name. The first time I heard his name was when I was watching Loretta's this year. I do not pay much attention to the C class, but anytime the C class was up, I heard Dawson's name quite a bit on there. So I did, know of him a little bit. And then when we were at the Verb Top Gun Showdown, I was so focused on my Suzuki, trying to get that thing right and trying to figure out if I need to change anything, so on and so forth. And sure enough, I hear Ken Farrell just saying Dawson Cobb's name over and over and over again. And I'm going to tell you what, Heavy D, that was the first time ever, I'm legitimately saying this, and this is absolutely true. First time I've ever heard a kid's name over the loudspeaker so many times in C class that I actually had to go and watch this kid. And I mean, I only got to see him for 4 laps, right? He was in the lead early. He got the whole shot checked out from what I saw. He might have had to pass maybe 1 or 2 people on the first lap, but man, he's on it for sure. And from what you said, from him, transitioning up in bikes so fast and able to be at this top C class, spot, that's local legend. Credentials for me. That's what being a local legend is someone that just comes out and just absolutely waxes everybody, and there's nothing that nobody can do about it.
Oh, dude, 100%. Like, he went to Loretta's. He failed, still came back and got second. If he'd had one more lap to go, he probably would have won that moto. Not even going to lie to you about that. I really feel like he would have.
Yep.
But, I mean, dude, it's a local legend. And when you watch the kid ride, he's no goon. He throws down. Like, his sauce level is real high. As Gucci said, if you ain't got the sauce, then you lost. But he got all the sauce. That is no joke.
Well, let's hope that he doesn't get lost in the sauce of the success that could be coming with these championships. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, I like that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So that was great for the local legend segment. That's probably honestly going to be one of our favorite segments. We love talking about the local heroes from back in the day that we watched and that we got waxed by every single weekend. And Josh Thomas and Dawson Cobb, old, new, doesn't matter, still local legend. If you have a local legend in mind, make sure to contact us over at imperativemx@gmail.com. And in the subject line, put local legend segment and give us a description on the rider and why we should pick them on next week's episode. And if it's good enough, you may be featured here on the Imperative MX podcast local legends segment. So, Heavy D, I mean, there's been a lot of local legends